Hi, this is an introduction to Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. Galaxy's Edge is the eighth land in Disneyland, and it opened in 2019. And because of the pandemic, um, it's been open for less than a year in total. It is way up here on the upper reaches of Disneyland, and it's isolated. You have to walk through two or three lands to get there, and yeah, you can't get there on the railroad, and it's tucked away up here, and it is huge. So just to orient you a little bit more, Galaxy's Edge, Frontierland, beyond Thunder Mountain is a bridge to get into Galaxy's Edge. Um, Past Fantasyland, there's a tunnel to get into Galaxy's Edge. And on the west side of town here in Critter Country, you can walk the path up past Hungry Bear to get over here to the west side of Galaxy's Edge. On this map of Disneyland, you can get an idea of the scale of this new land. Here's Galaxy's Edge, and compare that to New Orleans Square, which I can cover completely with my hand, or Toontown, which is about hand size on this map. But Galaxy's Edge is just much larger. And I feel, when I see this on a map, I think, we're lucky that it's not its own park with its separate admission, because it is such a huge addition, and it is deluxe. It's quality and vast. Here's the bigger map. This is Galaxy's Edge. Here is your entrance from Frontierland. It's under a train trestle. Your entrance from Critter Country is also under a train trestle. And it's kind of a long walk. It's probably the longest empty path in Disneyland. Fantasyland is over here, where you go into this tunnel here, and this entrance. Galaxy's Edge is built to look like the used future of Star Wars movies. So it's a brand new land. It was just built, and it looks used. So it's got weathering and rust. The banners at the front are tattered, and there's exposed wiring in the buildings, and things are chipped. The paint's chipped and rusted, and it has a look to it that is immersive. The land is designed to be immersive, and along those lines, in order to make it more immersive, they broke some rules of theme parks. Like there's very few signs in English. The workers stay in character as if they are employees on the planet Batu, and the bathrooms don't have signs. And there's no churro carts or like hot dog carts. That stuff's out. So it's meant to be an experience where you really feel like you're wandering the streets of an alien port city. And it's great. It is, it looks expensive. At least to me, when I look around and I see all these details which are handcrafted, every little thing, like archways and these shade structures and awnings and walkways, all custom and created to be alien looking. Nothing's from IKEA or whatever. And it's just an incredible experience. You can see holes blasted in the construction, and the spires are unique, and everything from giant features to small details are a design that you've probably never seen before, or maybe you've seen in the Star Wars movies. So it is amazing. It is a permanent, high traffic, well-maintained, outdoor, handcrafted, 15-acre wonderland. It is divided kind of into two halves here with this archway. This side is kind of like the resistance side with the rebel fighters. And this side is kind of roaming, or kind of the Empire side, where you run into Stormtroopers and Kylo Ren. To those themes, you've got Smuggler's Run. There's two thrill rides, and one is the Rise of the Resistance, and one is Smuggler's Run. Smuggler's Run is the Millennium Falcon ride, and in it, the story is that you are smuggling cargo in a Millennium Falcon. So it is a ride that's similar to Star Tours in that you're in a cockpit and the room is moving and you're seeing scenes play out on what looks like outer space in front of you, but it's just a screen playing it. And so that's immersive, and it's a 6-person ride vehicle. And there are 2 pilots, 2 engineers, and 2 gunners. And you work together as a team to try to get through the smuggling run, where you are trying to sneak past defenses and you get found out and you're attacked and you try to survive and deliver your cargo. That's a great ride. Probably the best part about it is that you're in the Millennium Falcon, and that's really cool and thrilling. And if you're like me, you've wanted to do that for about 40 years, so that's incredible. The next ride is Rise of the Resistance. This is kind of like it's a huge ride that's a long ride. It's an 18-minute ride, and just for reference, Pirates of the Caribbean is 15 minutes. So imagine a thrill ride that's as long as Pirates of the Caribbean. And I'd say the closest that it is to any other ride in the park is probably Indiana Jones. So you're in a ride vehicle that where there's a story being told, and you encounter people with and characters and scenes in the ride vehicle, and it's also a thrill ride. So you don't really know what's around the corner, and I would hate to spoil anything for you there, and I would encourage you to get in and get in blind and not to know too much about it. But it's kind of like 3 thrill rides in one, and it is spectacular and the crown jewel of rides in all of Disneyland. And so much so that you have a special queue to get to that ride, and you may only get to ride it once per day. But it's definitely a don't miss, go to Disneyland to see it kind of ride. 3 eating choices are clustered here in Galaxy's Edge. First one is Docking Bay 7. This is the one with the ship on top of it. This is a quick service restaurant where there's a ton of outdoor and indoor seating, and it's got kind of an international menu, which means that it's more like ribs and noodles and less like pizza and hamburgers. So, and they had a cryptic menu where the food items, the choices had names like Tip-Yip, but they didn't say, is that spaghetti or chicken or turkey or what? And I think they've broken from that and have added the actual traditional English food names on those menus. But that's good. I had a great experience there. To me, Docking Bay 7 is kind of like the center of Galaxy's Edge. And it's a restaurant. And grouped with that is Ronto Roasters here. This is a hilariously themed food stall where you can see a robot is roasting a chunk of meat over a jet engine. And that's just amazing. And they serve wraps, which are like pork and sausage. And that's pretty much it they have. The only thing they have there. I haven't eaten there, but it looks great. And then right next to that is Kat Saka's on sign. Kat Saka's Kettle here. That is a place with alien kettle corn. So, and it's like a rainbow of colors, and it looks odd, but I'm sure it's delicious. And that's there. These 3 eating places are grouped together probably because they use a common kitchen backstage. So this is where you come when you're hungry in Galaxy's Edge. There's also Oga's Cantina, which is over here. Oga is a big shot that runs the place, the whole town. And that's the watering hole. So There are, it's the only place you can get alcoholic drinks in Disneyland. I guess it's because it's in another galaxy, so they made an exception. So they have beer, wine, and mixed drinks, and they also have non-alcoholic drinks. There, in my experience, there's always a line because people love to go in and see it, and I think it's hard to leave because it's such an experience. It's dark, and I think it's cozy. And next, there's another place where you can get drinks called Milk Stand. You can get green and blue drinks from the Star Wars movies here. And it is close to the Fantasyland entrance here. Galaxy's Edge has two shops that are really experiences. The first one is Savvy's Workshop, just tucked away down here in an unmarked building. And the next one is the Droid Depot here. Savvy's Workshop is where you walk in and you build your own lightsaber. And it is part of a little experience with about 12 other people and go through a little ceremony where you get your lightsaber at the end. And so it is an expensive but interesting and fun experience. So that's Savvy's Workshop. It's probably not for everybody with the $200 price tag. Droid Depot is also probably not for everybody. In Droid Depot, you choose a droid that you're going to build, a little remote control droid, and you pick pieces off of a conveyor belt and do some straightforward programming to choose a personality for it. And then you assemble it, and there's like a christening ceremony, and then you get your droid, and those are $60. So these are two kind of high-end experiences inside Galaxy's Edge. And those are categorized those two as shops, even though they're really experiences. And then over here, there is a covered mall. So it's outdoor, but it's indoor-ish. And there are, I think, 5 shops in here. There's the Creature Stall, which is like a pet store where you can buy stuffed animals and toys from all across the Star Wars universe. And then there's Toy Dairy and Toy Maker, which is has the look of a toy shop with handcrafted toys from throughout the galaxy. So that is a really striking store. And then got Black Spire Outfitters tucked in here also. And then you've got Jewels of Fifth in here also, so which is a jewelry and collectibles store. So there's quite a few stores in this little area, and it's fun to see. It's really well designed and built. And I know that when I first went there, I was skeptical of how many stores there were in Galaxy's Edge. Like, is this a Disneyland land, or is it just a bunch of stores clumped together? But it is immersive, and it's really neat. And I think having the shopkeepers interacting with people makes it so this area is vibrant and alive. And with the guests there and the people watching, it's really fun. It's cool. It's not just on its surface, you might think, it's just a cash grab to get 4 stores like jammed in together like this. But it's one of the best places in Galaxy's Edge. So you definitely can't miss it, or you shouldn't miss it. There are a couple standalone stores. One is Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities. And this is kind of like a combination of a museum and a museum gift shop together. So the walls are just loaded with knickknacks and exhibits. And there's also a long counter for buying things. There are Star Wars collectibles from all across the movies and the comic books and the books. So that is something else. You can, it's unmarked, but you can't miss it. It's got a statue in the front that I guess was rescued from one of the Jedi temples. And I think might be geographically the center of Galaxy's Edge. But yeah, you can't miss it. There's one entrance, and it's usually jam-packed with people. It's got a lot of high-priced souvenirs in there. It's great. There are also two more traditional stores. One is Resistance Supplies, actually two almost kiosks here out in the sun. That's where you can get the good guy equipment and t-shirts and stuff. And then First Order Cargo is where you can get equipment that might be seen on stormtroopers in white, black, and red over here. So this is the Empire stuff again. And those are the stores in Galaxy's Edge. And I'm also going to give signs to the bathrooms in Galaxy's Edge. They're unmarked, so good luck finding them. One is at the end of the mall here. That's fun. It's all themed, and it's an experience, so don't miss the bathrooms in Galaxy's Edge. And the other one is over here near the entrance, or this entrance. There's also some things you can't miss in Galaxy's Edge include all of the Starships. So you've got Millennium Falcon. You've also got a cargo ship on top of Docking Bay 7 and a First Order TIE Fighter over here. And you've got Land Speeder under here and TIE Fighters over here. I don't know what that is. Another TIE Fighters in here. So there are Starships all over the place to make the decor even more incredible. And finally, there's a little presentation stage here where you might see a skirmish between the First Order and the Rebels over here. Galaxy's Edge is the pinnacle of theme park building and construction and experience in 2021. And you have got to love being able to walk in and be immersed in this experience, this world that you're familiar with because of the movies, and you're finally getting able to step inside and be in there and walk around and experience it for yourself. It's incredible.